Hello everybody on YouTube, Christian Dragoon here, representing Team Trading Card Bros, coming at you all with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile today of a deck that I've been kind of messing around with for quite some time, and that is a deck profile of my Felgrand Lightsworn deck profile. Now, as you all know, for those of you who have been following my Christian Dragoon channel, a lot of you may know that I am definitely a big fan of Lightsworns, and as you all definitely know, definitely a big, huge Dragon fanatic, and along with Chaos Dragons, there's not really there's not really too many ways where you can mix dragons with Lightsworn together, and this was the closest I can come to of making that build right here. Now, this is not my complete build. There is a few ideas I'm definitely going to be doing with this build right here and there, messing around some ideas here and there, and on my channel, I'm definitely going to be mixing up some things compared to this build, and on the build on my channels, but this is definitely a very fun build, and it's definitely worth check out and worth a play out for those of you who are interested of this type of build right here. So yeah, I'll be explaining my choices right here just so you all can get a better understanding what I'm currently doing with this deck right here. So without further ado, let's move on straight into the deck profile. So start off with the dragons. Get the dragons out of the way. Start off with the obvious. We have 3 copies of Judgment Dragon. No explanation. Probably one of the most iconic, most powerful cards in the entire game. Pay 1,000 life, destroy every single card inside the field. Can be special summon for hand and field. As long as you have 4 more Lightsworns with different names. And all around, just a great beast. Even in today's game standards, it's definitely a beast in general. Now, understandably, a lot of people are actually taking out JDs in their Lightsworn deck because their Lightsworns are a little bit more combo heavy reliant, and they are more focused on the Minerva Exceeds monster. And I'm not gonna lie, once she becomes easy to pick up, I'll definitely make some changes to my Lightsworn deck once I get her. But for right now, the moment, the 3 JDs are still doing just fine as it is. So right now, 3 JDs. And then next up, for the dragons, we have 2 copies of Felgrand and 2 copies of Archbrave. Now, you really only need just 2 of each of these cards right here. I was messing around with 3 at one point, but I did learn the hard way that 3 of each of these guys can be sometimes a little bit cloggy at times, and there are those awkward times where I'll top deck through Archbrave or Felgrand when I want a certain Lightsworn, and I'll be like, oh, Felgrand Archbrave. I kind of wish you guys were a Lightsworn by now, but they are still good cards in general, and mostly what the Felgrand engine is for taking out that one annoying monster that's giving you the most problems, so to speak. And this is just a good answer to those annoying owls. Well, Archbrave is just mostly there to either bring out the Felgrand, or when he's brought out by Felgrand, banish all your opponent's face-up spells trash, which is a very useful ability in general. I was messing around with a more dragon-focused build with Felgrand Lightsworns. If you all want to check out my more dragon-focused Felgrand Lightsworn deck, check out my Christian Dragoon channel, and you will see that type of build right here. But this build right here is still fun regardless, so yeah. And that is it for the Felgrand Dragon engine. Now for Lightsworn engine, for Lightsworns, we play 3 copies of Lumina. You can get away with cutting out Lumina down to 2, and a deck will work just fine with 2. The reason I like to play 3 is because I do want to see her as much as I possibly can, and there are those awkward times where I did play her 2. There were a lot of awkward times where I did mill my 2 Luminas, and it was a bother, whereas playing 3 of her, when I did mill my first 2 Luminas, I was able to get into do my 3rd one, and I was able to recuperate, get at least one of my 2 Luminas back, and I was able to replenish my field, get back together a well-established field, so I can get back making my good field presence like I normally would do. And then next up, we have the 3 Radiants, which is amazing card for this deck right here. Level 4 tuner monster that can be summoned by effective Lumina, gives you access to level 8 synchros, level 7 synchros, rank for Exceed spam. It also gives you some nice mill access as well, and mill action as well. So it's just a really great card in general. Really love Radiant. And next up, we have 2 copies of Lila for the back row hate, and when she's done being used up for her effect, you can immediately use her for either rank 4 Exceeds play or level 8 synchro play with Raiden. And then for the one of the Lightsworns, we have the 1 Wolf, 1 Minerva, Fleece, pardon me, I'm sorry. 1 Fleece, 1 Wolf, because they can both they can both come out right out as soon as they're milled. Fleece when she's milled by monster effect. Wolf anytime by any card effects at the graveyard, protect the graveyard, which is just amazing. 1 Minerva, just not the Exceeds Minerva, unfortunately, but the main deck Minerva is still good. One main deck Minerva. When you mill her, you get additional mill, and obviously, you're never going to be able to use her effect to search out the JD or the Falcon. Maybe Archbrave, but sadly, you won't be able to normal summon her to search out the JD or Felgrand, because there's not really too many Lightsworns in the main deck as of right now. So you're not going to be able to use her first effect. But her effect, the fact that she's a level 3 tuner that can be pitched by Lumina and then be brought right back out, and then sync her with your Wolf, your Lila, or your Geralt and Jane for other access for level 7 synchros. It's a nice little tune-up right there in case something like that happens where you need to do so. So she's not bad all in all. And then for the rest of Lightsworns, one Geralt so you can take advantage of milling and potentially draw some cards. One Jane, and then the one Raiko. Just a little bit nice, little interesting manual effect for this deck right here. And another thing I like about Raiko in this deck right here is that if I have Raiko on the field, and if I get a normal summon Raiden, a normal summon Lumina, then Raiden out, this card right here can give me immediately access to my Trishula, which is, as we all know, how amazing Trishula is in any era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Trishula is legal, of course. And finally, to wrap out the entire deck profile, we have, of the main deck of monsters at least, we have 3 copies of Necrogarna, because you are going to be milling quite a bit, and eventually he does hit the grave, and when that happens, you do want someone who can block off your attacks when you need some block offs, when you need them the most. So the 3 Necrogarnas are definitely good for that occasion. And that is it for the monster lineup. Now for the spells. For the spells, we have 3 copies of Monster Reincarnation. This card is really great. Obviously, your go-to card for using your JDs, but it's also great for other reasons besides just JDs. You can also use this against your Lightsworn's back that you may want to recycle again. If you have a way to reuse your Felgrand Archbrave again, like let's say you have a Lumina on the field, you can use this card's effect to get Archbrave back to your hand, then use Lumina's effect to pitch Archbrave's cost, so that way when your turn's over, you can use Archbrave to bring back your Felgrand right out of the bat. And also, speaking of Felgrand engine, this also corrects bad hands, because let's say you have a Felgrand or Archbrave that you do not want in your hand, you can use this card to pitch the Archbrave or Felgrand, and then get back either JDs or the Lightsworn's back, and conveniently, if the card you pitch was an Archbrave, your Archbrave will go off and get back your Felgrand out of nowhere. And that is... oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next up for spells, we have the obvious 3 solar recharges and 2 charge light brigades. Obviously, you are playing a very good portion of Lightsworn, so you definitely gotta play this card right here. It gives you more draw, gives you more search power, and gives you more milling access. These cards are just great in general. Sadly, charge light brigade is not at 3 yet. Konami, if you're watching this video, please give us Lightsworn players back our 3rd light brigade, please. Charge has been at 2 for far too long. It's about time that you let us Lightsworn players have our 3rd charge light brigade back. So yeah, this is still a pretty decent lineup in general. And then next up, we have 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. This card is just amazing, this deck right here. Not only obviously good to bring back your Felgrand Archbrave, as you see right here, as you're about to see in my Synchro lineup, there are some level 7-8 Dragon Synchros, so push comes to shove, you can also use this card to bring back your level 7-8 Dragon Synchros as well, which is really nice in general. But what I really love about this card is that this card also gives you the advantage of, if any of your dragons are about to be destroyed, you can banish this card instead and prevent destruction. This gives, not only what I just explained, protection, but this also gives something that Lightsworns have never had access to, and that is giving your JDs protection from certain destruction effects. So yeah, this is definitely a very nice, powerful card in general, and I can't wait to see what other dragons I pick up for this deck right here, just to see how good this card can really pick off. And then finally for the spell lineup, 1 Rhoda, because you are playing Raidens and Geralt and Jane, so why not? And then 1 Foolish, just so you can send, not only you can make your Wolf more alive, but also if you want to, make your Felgrand plays more alive, and Archbrave as well. You can also use this to send to any Lightsworn you want, just so you can have enough Lightsworns eventually in the graveyard to grab JDs. And if you want, as I've seen some people do in the past, I've even seen people use Foolish, just dump JD in the graveyard, just so they can use Monster Reincarnation, bring the JD right back, and then bring out the JD right there. And then that's it for the spells. The only thing we're playing for traps is just a very minimum amount of traps, and that's really about it. For the traps, all we're playing is 3 copies of Beckoning Light. It pretty much does what Monster Reincarnation, but in a very weird, both faster and yet slower way at the same time. Now, for those of you who don't remember what this card does, you pitch your entire hand, and for every card pitched by this card's effect, you get one light monster back from graveyard to your hand. So let's say you have a handful. So let's say you have like a very good amount of cards in your hand that you know by fact you're not going to use, but there's a good amount of light monsters you want back in your hand. Like say your JDs, your sort of Lightsworns, like for example Lumina or Raidens. This is definitely a very great card because you can also use these cards to get back your resources back. This can also allow you potentially to make your Felgrand plays more alive, your JD plays more alive, your Lightsworn plays more alive. It is just a really great card in general for a deck like this. And I'm really glad I'm still playing this card. And that is it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. Let's get the Synchros out of the way. For the Synchros, we have the one Trishula. No explanation what Trishula is here. Trishula is just so way too dang good for a deck like this. For level 8, we have the Crimson Blader, Stardust Spark, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, just generic good, really great level 8 Synchros. For level 7s, we have the one Michael, one Black Rose, one Clearwing, just for obvious stuff. Sadly, this isn't a heavy Synchro build just yet, so we're not using Crystal Wing just about yet. Clearwing is a good substitute till then, but I digress. And the only one level 6 Synchro is the one Coral Dragon, for just in case. And for the Xyz monsters, we just have the generic stuff. 1/1/1, one Cowboy, one Abyss Dweller, one Castell, one Giant Hand, and one tech card I'm currently messing around with is the one Queen Dragoon. Queen Dragoon is just a really nice tech card for this deck right here. Is because, as you all can see, I am playing Arcbrave Dragon. So you can use the Queen Dragoon's effect to bring back the Arcbrave Dragon, and then when your Arcbrave dies, you then can later on use Arcbrave's effect to bring back the Felgrand. Now, yes, before anyone asks, yes, if you do use Queen Dragoon's effect to bring back Arcbrave, Arcbrave will not be allowed to banish your opponent's face-up spells and traps. However, that's not the point of this card. The point of this card is to bring back your Felgrand, not your Felgrand, your Arcbrave, so when your Arcbrave dies, your Arcbrave will then be able to get his graveyard effect later on to bring back your Felgrand later on, such. But I digress, it's still a good card in general. Now, I am planning on using Utopia in this deck very soon, and Utopia Lightning. I don't yet have Utopia Lightning. I do plan on using Utopia Lightning very soon, but bear with me, just once I get Utopia Lightning, I'll probably cut out the Queen Dragoon and Giant Hand, but for right now, at the moment, this is what my rank 4 engine is currently right now at the moment. And finally, to wrap up the entire deck profile, we have the one number 38, because this card is insane what he can do on his own. So yeah, that right there was my Felgrand Lightsworn deck profile. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'm out. Thank you. Bye. Peace.